Testing for Gases by KayScience.com. In your exam, you could get a question which says, describe a test to show a gas is, and it could be any one of the following gases, such as hydrogen, which has a molecular formula of H2, oxygen, which has a molecular formula of O2, or carbon dioxide, which has a molecular formula of CO2, or chlorine, which has a molecular formula of Cl2, or ammonia, which has a molecular formula of NH3. So if you ever see this question, describe a test to show a gas is, and then one of the following gases, you need to know which test to use and what are the observations. So hydrogen gas is identified using the squeaky pop test. So to do this, you need a test tube full of hydrogen gas, which is represented here by the hydrogen molecules. You then take a lighted splint, which is a thin piece of wood set on fire, and place it inside the test tube, which will cause the lighted splint to ignite. And this causes a squeaky pop to be heard. So what actually happens is the heat from the lighted splint causes the hydrogen to react with oxygen to form water. This chemical reaction causes a mini explosion to take place inside the test tube. This is why we hear a squeaky pop, and if there is enough hydrogen gas, a flame can sometimes be seen. It's question time. Attempt these questions to check your understanding. Oxygen gas is identified using a glowing splint. So first, you'll have a test tube full of oxygen gas, and then you'll need a glowing splint, which is where the flame has just gone out, so the splint is still glowing orangey red and is very hot still. You then place the glowing splint inside the test tube, where it relights as it sets on fire again. It's question time. Attempt these questions to check your understanding. We can use the fire triangle to understand how this took place. The fire triangle tells us for something to set on fire, we need a fuel, we need heat, and we need oxygen. In this case, we had the glowing splint, which provided the heat and the fuel, and then the pure oxygen allowed the glowing splint to set on fire again. Combustion was the chemical reaction that occurred here. Fuel reacted with oxygen to form carbon dioxide and water. And the reaction occurred because the glowing splint provided the initial heat. Carbon dioxide gas can be identified using limewater. First, you need a test tube full of limewater. And limewater is just calcium hydroxide, which is CaOH brackets 2 aqueous, which means calcium hydroxide is dissolved in water. Limewater is colourless, and colourless means there is no colour. Often, people will confuse this for the word clear. Clear means light is able to be transmitted through the substance, and you can have a blue substance which is clear, a red substance which is clear, a green substance which is clear. So therefore, if you describe limewater as being clear, this is wrong. The colour of limewater is colourless. Carbon dioxide gas is then bubbled into the limewater through a straw or through a delivery tube. The carbon dioxide gas flows through the straw where it is then bubbled through the limewater. The carbon dioxide stops the limewater being colourless. It goes cloudy or milky white. It's question time. Attempt these questions to check your understanding. The colourless limewater goes cloudy or milky white because a white precipitate of calcium carbonate forms. This has a molecular formula of CaCO3. This can be summarized in the word equation: calcium hydroxide plus carbon dioxide reacts to form calcium carbonate and water. Lime water is calcium hydroxide and the white precipitate is calcium carbonate. Chlorine can be identified using damp blue litmus paper. To begin with, you have your test tube full of chlorine gas and your damp blue litmus paper. You place the damp blue litmus paper inside the test tube and it first turns red. So the first observation is the damp blue litmus paper turns red. After a small amount of time, the red litmus paper then bleaches white. The second observation is the red litmus paper bleaching white. It's question time. Attempt these questions to check your understanding. Ammonia can be identified using 3 techniques: its characteristic smell, using damp red litmus paper, and reacting it with hydrochloric acid. So here we have a test tube full of ammonia gas. And without even trying to smell it, ammonia has a characteristic, sharp, choking smell. Once this smell has been observed, you'll then use damp red litmus paper to identify the ammonia. The ammonia will cause the damp red litmus paper to turn blue. The final test is using hydrochloric acid. This test tube contains hydrochloric acid, which is poured into the test tube containing ammonia. This causes a chemical reaction to take place, and the observation is white smoke of ammonium chloride is given off. This white smoke of ammonium chloride, along with the characteristic sharp choking smell and the damp red litmus paper turning blue, are used to identify ammonia. It's question time. Attempt these questions to check your understanding. Pause the video here to practice the keywords. The answers will follow. Press pause to answer the questions. The answers will follow. If stuck, just rewatch the video. Press pause to go through your answers and make any corrections to your mistakes. And don't forget to visit KayScience.com for more videos, worksheets and quizzes at KayScience.com. And don't forget to like and subscribe.